Welcome, Marie here in Zone 6 with a look at the garden in mid-July. By the entrance to the back garden, this container is looking pretty good given the heat and the storms we've had. The snowdrift, Bordeaux, Dusty Miller, the canna leaves look great. There's a bud, and these older canna flowers have seen better days, but it's still a pop of color. Here's that quick fire fab, which was weighed down by the storm or storms we've had, but it's still lovely. And my black-eyed Susies are blooming. And there's a lot more buds that will open. In this container, it's looking great. This is bubblegum, snowdrift, and beacon impatient. And this container, as well as the one down yonder where you see the pink. The August moon hosta has gotten blooms. And the iceberg rose has started to bloom again. Hopefully the Japanese beetles won't find it. This container I put together not too long ago has really filled in, probably thanks to the rain. There's snowdrift, a white beacon impatient, verbena, and Bordeaux. I tried to connect this container with that initial container, which also has Bordeaux and snowdrift. The clematis leaves still look good, though the blooms are gone. Appreciate what you can. And the new dawn has started to get some buds and should be blooming again soon. There's one starting. There's another August moon hosta with its blooms. More beacon and patience on either side. And another quick fire fab, which is starting to turn pink. Just delightful. And here is another black-eyed Susie. This one is actually a division from the initial one I showed you. I divided it maybe about 2 years ago. And look at these zinnias I planted in the container. They're blooming. In this container, the silverberry is looking pretty, as well as the Dusty Miller. And the pink verbena is really gotten big. Not many blooms yet. There's some that are coming, but it still looks very healthy. I added some arbor vitae I got on sale to these 2 containers. Can you tell I'm tired? I didn't even take them out the pot and plant them. It's rough times mid-July with the heat. At least for me it is. Moving on. The potato vine is really filling in, cascading onto the concrete. And this hibiscus is getting lots of buds. Little quick fire is still looking great. And my anise hyssop has started to bloom. Beacon and patience filling in. That burgundy penstemon color. Still adding a splash of variety with all the green here. I like to cut it with some other color. And look at this limelight punch. It's got such a great shape. That's another new dawn rose back there. Beacon and patience again. And here is the boo-boo. Look at all those blooms. And that black-eyed Susie back there. I have no idea how it got back there, but hey, I just went with it. The Roseanne geranium, still going strong. And my limelight prime has really started to bud up. Cone flowers looking great. And the firelight tidbit has started to bud up. There's the firelight looking lovely. And the Gatsby pink. Mm-hmm. Just love it. Back in the hidden garden, mosquitoes are probably happy to see me coming. The anise hyssop on this side to the right is blooming. The one to the left is taking it a little longer. I think it gets less sun. But there's that limelight I bought not too long ago. That Sum and Substance, Annabelle, and another limelight, which is starting to get some buds. It's gotten a lot shadier back here over the years, but I still have some lovely blooms. Across from the Gatsby pink, the, uh-oh, what are those? You lose track after a while. The quickfires are still looking great. That's a firelight in the middle. And this quickfire is really starting to turn pink. The bobos have really started to bloom. There's one. And here's the other. Over in this flower bed, the top hat begonias are really growing quickly. The beacon and patience I put in not too long ago, they're growing. They're growing. I have to be patient. On the other side of the flower bed, the beacon and patience, the pink as well as the white, have really filled in. They're my go-to for shady or part shady areas, I should say. Over by the fence extension I built this year, those are the August moon hostas. I think one of the cats, or maybe the raccoon, got in the middle of that one. It looks a little smushed. And the limelights, look how much they're starting to bloom. Just delightful. And there's that Gatsby star oak leaf. The begonias on the table I built years ago are really starting to grow. I thought white would be a great color over here since it's shady to, figuratively speaking, illuminate the area. On the other side, by the screen I built this year, the firelight is looking great as well. And there's that Sophie Rose David Austin, which needs to be deadheaded. Oh boy. In the east garden, which is the front garden, the Snowdrift Supertunias are still doing well. That's an incredible. Actually, there's two, one back there. The Bordeaux, as well as the potato vine in that container, and some calibrachoa I added. I got, I don't know if you could see it, but a little stand, and I placed these, or this container on top of where the Daisy May Shastas were, so they can hopefully still get some sun and come back next year. And then I placed that calibrachoa on top. There is amethyst verbena in this container and snowdrift supertunia. Oh, look. Isn't he cute? Hey, cutie. And there is some Dusty Miller as well. On either side of the front steps, the silverberry supertunia is cascading. And my poor Sally Holmes, the Japanese beetles have been eating the blooms. This is an Annabelle hydrangea. The Victoria salvia I planted is really getting established. I cut back my lavender. I think it's Munstead lavender. And the Millennium allium will be blooming soon. It's a little early for it, but it's been really hot. So that's a limelight you see there. And another limelight by the bay window. I'll probably cut some of that back part um, like I do every year so that it doesn't block so much of the window. Down here, more Victoria salvia and more Millennium allium. That's silverberry, Victoria salvia, Millennium allium, and more silverberry. There's an incredible, and my hibiscus will be blooming soon. Ooh, speaking of blooms, that's a fuchsia one. This is a light pink one. Look at the bloom, the buds. Ooh, and this one is white. I have 3 hibiscus over here, hardy hibiscus. Look, and it has a bloom. Oh, this is my first time seeing it. How exciting. And my pink chiffon rose of Sharon. Once again, the Japanese beetles have been devouring. Oh boy. Here's an overview of some of the East Garden. In the South Garden, there's a lily bloom. The other ones have come and gone. Some zinnias that have started to bloom in part of my small cut garden. And these Chianti hybrid sunflowers have really grown. Look at that bloom. And there are more to come. And there are some zinnias in the other part of my small cut garden. And going past my Sally Homes, that is a limelight you see to the back of the South Garden. Back in the back garden, here's a view. Hopefully you'll get some perspective. White beacon and patience. Roseanne geranium. And this is a limelight prime. Heading around to the back deck. On the back deck, the Easy Wave petunias are still looking great. They do really well, respond really well when you deadhead. Try to get not just the bloom, but the stem, some of the stem as well. And my autumn joy sedum in this container will be blooming soon. And there are those beacon and patience in that container. The potato vine is looking luxurious, so to speak. There's another autumn joy sedum. And in this container, I have Super Bell's Blue. I think this is called Licorice Splash, this bluish color plant. And I have Indigo Mini Vista in the middle. Down below are a few containers with different plants in them. Here is some coleus in this container I grew from seed, getting blooms. And here is more coleus I grew from seed in this container. And that's some foxglove that I winter sowed. I planted some and those were kind of like extra. So I put them in there until I decide what to do with them. Another wave petunia. And there's that hosta I leave in a container over the winter, and it comes back. And down here below, you can see there's my back entrance. Those are endless summers. They're starting to get some new buds. And there is a quick fire down below. Thanks for watching and consider subscribing.